Imperfection makes for an incredible relationship. Good morning, everyone. I'm Trey with the First Date Fix, and today we're going to be talking about Mr. Perfect and the fact that he just doesn't exist. If you are chasing and looking for the perfect partner, unfortunately, you're going to be very disappointed and you're going to end up living the rest of your life very lonely. Perfect is some kind of vivid fantasy created by advertising firms and television companies. Let me describe what I've heard from various women that I've spoken to, various focus groups that I've had. They have to be 6 foot plus, they have to be making decent money, they have to be a provider, they have to be bold, they have to be confident, they have to be good with kids, they have to be a good listener, they have to be able to be a manly man but not a complete asshole. They can't have toxic masculinity, but they do have to have some sort of masculinity. The voice can't be too deep, but the voice can't be too high. They have to be in shape, they have to be going to the gym, they have to have a passion, they have to be perfect with your family, they have to be perfect they have to be great raising your future family, they have to be an incredible communicator, they have to be incredibly empathetic, they have to be understanding of all causes in the world. You get the gist, okay? Essentially, this is what I've heard for people's ideal man. And as I've sat there, I've always just thought, okay, yeah. Because the perfect man doesn't exist. For example, if you want someone who's going to be super masculine and doesn't have toxic masculinity, that's fine, but someone who's super masculine might not always be able to be as empathetic as you would want, right? So there are always trade-offs, but we're gonna get into it. When you look for the perfect man, what you end up doing is you restrict yourself to someone that you could be perfectly compatible with and have a great future with that man. Ultimately, compatibility and shared values and all that good stuff is what's more important than finding the perceived perfect man. I did some research and I found some interesting statistics. So, according to a study by Remington that was conducted with over 2,000 women, most women rank their partners, boyfriends, whatever you want to call them, husbands, that they were 69% perfect. That's pretty good. I could totally marry someone who is 69% perfect. That's a decent result considering that was taken with over 2,000 women. Some of the main things they mentioned in regards to their partners being perfect were things like them not getting along with their friends, or not grooming themselves appropriately, whatever the hell that means, or leaving the toilet seat up, or their inability to do one thing at a time. Ladies, you know you're significantly better multitaskers than us. Essentially, the main things that women felt like made the perfect man were good personality, good sense of humor, and good looks. I think I have one of them, barely. But hey, what that means is that if you at least have one of them, then you're a third of the way there. So shout out to us who at least have one of those things that make men perfect. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? Number one, when you talk about perfection, the interesting thing about that is that as you grow, your paradigm and ideology of perfection grows. You start to change what you feel like makes the perfect man. For me, the kind of woman that I thought was perfect in college isn't even near to what I think is perfect right now. Back in the day in college, I wanted her to have a banging body, some other things. My mum might be watching this, so I'm not going to get into that. And she liked me. That was pretty much it. Now I want a woman to, be articulate, to be funny, to be sexy, to be empathetic, to be a good listener, and all that other stuff. In reality, what you see as perfection changes over time. Instead of thinking about what's perfect, you should be thinking about what's important to you as an individual. What matters? Think about the previous relationships that you've had, the things that you have truly learned, the things that have grown, and the things that have developed you as an individual. What's really important when it comes to a relationship? What do you know makes you truly happy? Think about all the love and loss that you've had in the past. Think about some unhealthy patterns that you might have seen, or quite frankly, you might have displayed. Now, not every single thing, because obviously no one's perfect, But just think about the main things that you know you need in order to be happy with someone. Think about the things that you're not willing to negotiate, and think about the things that you are willing to, I guess, tolerate. If you have a small list of what's important to you, then you will look for the perfect in someone as opposed to someone being perfect. If I have a top 5 list of what I think makes a woman perfect, it means she's not going to be the perfect woman, but to me, I find her to be perfect. And that's how you should be looking at it when you're looking for quote unquote the perfect man. What makes that man perfect to you? Imperfections make an incredible relationship. Trust me. If you're a man or a woman and you've ever been in a situation where you've got the person of your dreams, who at least you thought was the person of your dreams, you typically end up breaking up because you realize when you get everything that you want in that person that you felt like you wanted, it's not a right match. Imperfection makes for an incredible relationship. In every relationship you have, there are going to be imperfections. There are going to be cracks. That's just kind of how it is. That's part of the package. And it's only a matter of time, specifically 3 to 4 months, where you start seeing the cracks and those rose-tinted glasses are viciously taken off, because after 3 to 4 months, you are over the honeymoon phase. You're still happy, but you start to see annoying things. You know, maybe they laugh at their own jokes. Perhaps sometimes you find them to be over-opinionated. Perhaps sometimes you get frustrated at the company that they keep. It's only a matter of time before you start wishing that your partner did something different. They were more patient. They acted differently in certain situations. But be very, very careful, because if you start to focus only on the things that are lacking and you wish that they had, this is exactly why the demographic between 21 and 35 these days only have relationships that last 3 to 4 months. Because once the rose-tinted glasses are there, they turn around and they say, well, I'm looking for the perfect partner, and no one's perfect. So after 3 to 4 months, they bounce. And unfortunately, this leads to something that I call monkey branching. Now, what monkey branching is when you kind of have attention from someone and you're slowly swinging to someone else while still in a relationship. You're not necessarily cheating, but you're leaving those doors open, which goes back to my last video when I spoke about micro cheating. Monkey branching is when you have a guy at the gym, someone who gives you attention at work, maybe someone often slides in your DM, maybe someone you've met at the local grocery store. You know, monkey branching is when you're just on your way to cheating and you have someone to swing to. Of course, you're allowed to have your deal breakers. Of course, you're allowed to have those important things that you know make a relationship work. But you have to accept the person for who they are from the get-go, or you're going to be upset. If you don't change that blissful, I'm in a lovely relationship for 3 to 4 months, then I start seeing their flaws mindset, then you're going to be miserable and very lonely for the rest of your life. No one is perfect. Relationships are marathons. They are full of ups and downs. They're not sprints. Here's the interesting thing if we go back to that marathon analogy. Essentially, when you start running a marathon, your muscles loosen up. They start to get a bit warmer and you start enjoying the run. The longer you run, the better your endurance and your enjoyment. You grow together. And when you grow together, you start seeing things within that person that do make them your perfect man. You see, perfection isn't something that comes instantly. Perfection is something that takes time. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're perfect. It means that you see perfect qualities within them because the two of you have grown together. Are you starting to see the beauty of what I'm saying in regards to imperfections? Imperfections make relationships great. Don't compare your current boyfriend to your exes. That's probably one of the worst things you can do. And unfortunately, I've been guilty of that. I've been in love 2 times my whole life. And whenever I would compare them to those 2 women that I was deeply in love with, because I felt to myself, if I fell in love with them, then this person that I'm dating now has to display those qualities. Do not do that. Learn from my mistakes, okay? Please do not do that. There's a reason why it didn't work out with those exes. So why compare them with each other? If you continue to live in the past in regards to your previous relationships, you're never going to be able to progress with the new. Someone that could be that person that you've been looking for so long. And instead of trying to change your partner, maybe you should change yourself. Just an odd notion, but maybe you should consider that there are things that perhaps you need to change within your life in order to be happier with the person you're with. That's why so many different dating articles and dating coaches are turning around and saying, before you find someone great, you need to fix yourself. That is critical before you get with anyone else. Look at your life like a documentary, okay? Instead of looking at it like a movie. When you look at your previous relationships like a movie, you see all the good parts, you see the action scenes, you see all the parts where you're like, man, I was rocking that. I was good, right? Don't look at your life like a movie, but look at it in the form of a documentary, okay? Take a big microscope, look at the things in your previous relationships that didn't work, okay? And figure out how you can manifest those positive things that perhaps you didn't display, or those positive things that perhaps you didn't receive, into your next relationship, and see the perfect in someone else. The fact of the matter is this: no one is perfect. I've loved, I've lost, I've cried, and I've made a lot of mistakes. Still learning. I struggle sometimes. I get confused. There is still an abundance of things that I just don't know about the female mind. It's what I think makes you lovely ladies interesting. But you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that you're not perfect. You have to look at your date or relationship in the face and say, look, I know you're not perfect, but I love you for who you are. Accept the person for who they are and stop demanding perfection. Because if that's all you're looking for, you're never going to get it. I don't know all the secrets to dating, love, and relationships. And quite frankly, sometimes I find myself being just a little bit afraid because I feel like I always get close to that precipice, but not too close. When you meet someone you're supposed to be with, and I mean one of the great ones, okay? Whether they're perfect or not is really going to be non-consequential, and you're going to feel that because the kind of person that you thought was the perfect man and that you were supposed to be with, you will realize that that was just garbage because of the guy that you're with right now. You're going to realize he is one of the great ones, and that is your perfect man because you find perfect in him. Loosen the reins on control and let fate do its thing, okay? No one is perfect, but find the person who is perfect for your personality, who is perfect for your future, who you think might be perfect for your future kids, and ultimately you can build a future with, and that you see the perfect within them. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, you can check out my YouTube, my Pinterest, this Instagram page, follow, like, and all that other cliched social media garbage. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.